We're often given an equation, in this case quadratic equation, and we are asked to graph it. One way we can graph this is just simply by selecting points. Now in this case, let's say we were given y equals x squared plus 3x plus 5, and we were asked to find the corresponding y values for x equals -4, -3, -2, -1, 0, 1, and 2. In that case, all we're going to be doing is plugging in that x value and seeing what it gives us. So I would have y equals -4 squared plus 3 times -4 plus 5. And this gives us -4 squared is 16. 3 times -4 is -12. Then I have a positive 5. So 16 minus 12 is 4 plus 5 is equal to 9. So what that tells me is that for an x of -4, I get a y of 9. So I'm going to put it right there in my table. Now if x equals -3, I get y equals -3 squared plus 3 times -3 plus 4 is equal to -3 squared is 9, because a negative times a negative is a positive. 3 times -3 is a -9, and I can't forget about my 5. So 9 minus 9 plus 5 is equal to 5. So x of -3 gives me a y of 5. Now, if I put a -2 in, I get -2 squared plus 3 times -2 plus 5. A -2 squared is -2 times -2, which is positive 4. 3 times -2 is -6 plus 5. 4 minus 6 is -2 plus 5 is equal to a positive 3. So I have a 3 here. I'm not going to do all of these, but when I put a -1 in, I get a 3 also. When I put 0 in, I get 5. I'll show you 0 here. Y equals 0 squared plus 3 times 0 plus 5. Of course, 0 squared is 0 plus 3 times 0, 0 plus 5. So I get a 5. I put a 1 in, I get a positive 9. I put a 2 in, I get a positive 15. Now, to graph this, we're going to go over to Excel and graph it. But notice that I have -4, 9. I've got an ordered pair there. -4, 9. My x is -4, my y is 9. -3, 5. So I have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 ordered pairs that I'm going to be able to graph over in Excel. So let's take a look at graphing those in Excel. Okay, in graphing this, I've gone ahead and put our values. I set up a couple of columns here where I have x and my y, and then I put in my x values: -4, -3, -2, -1, 0, 1, and 2. And then I have put under the y's the corresponding y values for each x value. In other words, for x equals -4, we had a y of 9. X equals -3, we had a y of 5. Now I'm ready to graph this. It's really pretty simple. There's many fancy ways to do this, but I'm going to show you a real simple way. I'm going to cover all of these cells with the numbers in them. Okay? And now I'm using Microsoft Excel 2007. If you're using 2003, it may be a little different. I'm going to go up and click the Insert tab. I'm going over to Scatter. I'm going to click Scatter. Then I'm going to choose the option that has a scatter with smooth lines and markers. There's a nice looking graph. The only thing that I really need to do is I don't like that series being there. You can change the size, you can make it larger. If you need to put this in something like a Word document, if you're doing this for a class or something, you can right click. Let's see, actually can right click. You got to get in the right place and copy, and simply go over to your Microsoft Word document or whatever you're using and paste. And it's as simple as that. Again, I'll go over those steps again. Let me delete this. Cover the numbers. Go up to Insert, click Scatter, and I'm choosing that second option up there that says Scatter with smooth lines and markers. There it is. I'm going to make it a little bit larger. I'm going to get rid of the legend. I'm going to go up here in the right place, click Copy, and go put it wherever I need to, or it may be just fine where it is. But you need to copy and paste it, just right click and put it in there. Graphing is pretty simple when you have Excel.